I'm going to show you how to combine data from different worksheets and then run a query function. That will be part 1 of this video. And in part 2, we're going to see how we can combine data from different workbooks and thereafter run a query function on that combined data. Let's jump into it. So first of all, I have data here, which is prices for gold over the years. So in my first worksheet, I have prices of gold from the year 2000 to 2022. And in sheet number 2, I have prices from 1980 to 1999. So I want to combine these two into one sheet and then after run a query function on the combined data. So let's take it by step. To combine data, we can use the curly braces. So there you go. I open my curly braces, I close them. Then inside here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the first data set. I pick that range. Okay, let's start again. Open the bracket, curly braces, go to your first data range, pick that. If I close here and say enter, you can see on my combined data sheet, it brings the one for 2000 2022. If I want to bring the other information from 1980 to 1999, all I have to do, I have to put a semicolon here and then go to sheet 2. I'm not going to bring the headers because I already have my headers from my first sheet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to pick this. I realized I've left out row 2. I can type it there, press enter, and you can see my combined data from the two sheets. This is from the first sheet from 2000 2022, and this right down here, I have data from the second sheet from 1980 to 1999. Having done that, this will be my data. Now I can run my query on this combined data set. So to run my query, I will cut that which holds my data, type my query function. The first argument is the data, Ctrl V, that's the data which I combined. The next one is the query function. If you remember in our earlier studies or tutorials on query, what I normally do, I say select. If I want years, I say year, which is A, like so. Then if I want column B, I say B, like so. Then do like so. But when I do this, it does not work. It brings me a value error. So when you combine your data using these curly braces, as I've shown you, these columns will not work as column A, column B. However, what we do is becomes column COL1 and COL2. And be careful that you start them with capital letters. So when I enter, you can see now it is running my query function and returning the two columns. However, if I made this one lowercase and this one lowercase, this query function will not run and it will return a value error. So I'm showing you this to be aware that when you use column 1 and column 2, sure that they are capital letters. So this is how you can combine data from the same workbook but in different sheets and then run your query function. So for example here, I can go ahead and say where column, remember column 1 is greater than maybe 2000, then it will return only those values greater than 2000, and it will leave out 2000 because 2000 is not greater than 2000. So this is how you can use your query function, combining data from different sheets into a combined sheet, and after combining your data, you run your query function. That is part 1 of our video today. And part 2 of the video is I'm gonna go to another workbook. If I use the Excel language, workbook, which is data 1, and I want to run the same that I've done here in this different workbook. So how will I go about this? To simplify it, I'm going to first do for 1, and then thereafter I bring in the other sheet data. So to import the data without running my query function, I use a Google Sheet function called import range, and it takes the sheet URL or the ID and then the string, the name of the string, the range. So what I'll do, I'll go to where I want to import my data from, which is 2. I can pick the entire URL as shown here by copying it, but it would be too long. The other alternative is to use the ID. So I'll copy ID, then in quotes, I paste my ID there, then comma. The next argument is the sheet where I'm picking my data from, and you see here it is a string. So I say sheet 1. Let's spell it correctly. Sheet 1. This one here, and I'm picking from A1 to A24. So put A1 to A24. Then close my quotes, press enter. The first time you run it to bring this error here, the ref error, all it needs is allowing it access. Hover over it to bring this dialog, then allow access. There you go. So what I did, I selected A1 to A24, and it brought me this. But what I want is G24. So I go back and change this to G24. There we go. So this is data from the first sheet. Now I need to pick data also from the second sheet. And if you remember, I used curly braces. So I'll copy, this will be my first data, then semicolon, paste it here, like so. If I did this, my data will be repeated because now it is picking from only one sheet. Now what I'll have to do is, you see here it is repeated, so what I have to do is specify that the second set of data is coming from sheet 1 but not sheet 2. So I'll change this second set to sheet 2. And also I want to leave out the header. A1 is in the row of the headers, so I'll say A2, hit enter, takes some time, then brings back my data right here. As you can see, it is running from 1980 to 2022. Now, having done this, this is my data set. The rest is easy. What I need to do, I cut this, then type my query function, open brackets, my data is what I've imported, Control V, then comma, the next set is my query, then maybe let me finish, I have one row, close that. Then in my query, I'm gonna say select. Remember, I can't use column A or B, I use column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3, and press enter. So now in my second workbook, I'm running a query and I'm using data which is in my other workbook. So that is how you can pull data at the same time run your query function. So you can do this, you can do all the other queries that you want to do. For example, you can say where column 1 is greater than 2, 2022, do like so, and you'll see that it runs from 2023 up to current date. So it's very good. You can have data stored in one workbook and you run your queries in another workbook, which you can use for reporting purposes and for any other purposes. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification button if you have liked this video so that you are alerted of more videos like this one. Have a great day.